Hello, I'm Linda Hoyland, Vitality Specialist. I use a range of complementary therapies to help you regain your health and vitality. Three of the biggest concerns I see with people are fatigue, stress and anxiety. And they're all interrelated. If you're tired, things become more stressful, you get more anxious. If you've got lots of stress in your life and having to deal with it, then obviously that tires yours. So one of the techniques I thought I'd share with you is the stress release technique. It's really, really helpful for helping with stress and anxiety. You can use it in any situation for any particular problem. It doesn't take the problem away, but it does release the stress and anxiety associated with it. So if we think about what stress is for, stress is there to help us perform. It's there to help us do things. It's there to push us and motivate us. When the stress becomes too much, then you feel distressed, and that's when it becomes a problem. In today's society, we're overwhelmed. Everything's fast, everything's furious, there's so much going on, and it's easy to become anxious and feel stressed about just everyday little things. It means we're on red alert a lot of the time, and then come down to amber alert, and never go back to green. And what stress does to us, it sends out messages to the hormonal system to pump out adrenaline, which prepares us to fight or run away. Fight or flight syndrome, you've heard of it, I'm sure. So we're ready to fight or we're ready to run away. Obviously, that's not appropriate in today's society, but it comes from when we were faced with dangers and we had to just react with instinct. Imagine a mammoth coming towards you in prehistoric times, and you ran away. You ran up a tree to get away from it. The next time a mammoth comes charging towards you, your body says, oh, that's what got me out of it last time, so you head towards the tree without even thinking about it. And this is what happens today. We get put in situations, and because of the stress levels, the anxiety levels, we don't react in the way we'd like to. For instance, putting it into the office situation, the work situation. Something happens at work, we're already stressed and anxious, and we just let rip. It's not appropriate, it's not what we really wanted to do. But the next time we take some sort of criticism or something similar happens, the same thing. And again, we see that person and we feel aggressive. And yet we don't know why. But it's our bodies reacting in the way it reacted before. So we need to think, we need to put ourselves back into conscious control. And the technique I'm going to show you now helps you do that. It brings the blood flow back to the front of the brain, which is where we make conscious, rational decisions. Okay, so I've got my friend Janet here, who's also a kinesiologist, and she's a willing volunteer for this demonstration. So between us, we're going to show you this self-help technique, stress release technique that you can use yourself in this situation. So do you have a stressful situation that you'd like to share with us?
Yes, I have. At the moment, I'm doing an online course of study, and it is getting me I am getting a bit stressed about it in terms of completing it.
Okay. So if I was to ask you where you would put that stress level on a scale of 0 to 10, 10 is very stressed, 0 is not stressed at all, where would you put yourself at the
It
moment?
would be about a 7.
A 7, so it is causing you quite a bit of
Yes.
stress and anxiety. Okay. So there's two ways we can evaluate it. So one is to think about it in numbers, and the other is to use muscle testing, which is one of the skills that Janet and I use to determine where imbalances are in people's bodies. So just going to show how the stress is affecting her body. Anyone who knows about muscle testing will realise that there are various pre-checks that we do beforehand to check that the muscle's working properly, which we've already done. So I'm going to ask Janet to raise her arm like this. We just tested this muscle here, the deltoid. It's a nice big muscle in the shoulder. And I'm just going to ask you to hold and push it down on her arm, okay? So that muscle's nice and switched on. I would like you to think about a course, the stress it's causing you. Okay, and hold. So that muscle switches off in response to that stress. So if you take that a little bit further, that means every time we're in some sort of stressful situation or thinking about something stressful, the muscles in our body are switching off. So we don't want to be like that. We want to be nice and healthy and strong in relation to things. So I'm going to ask Janet to demonstrate this technique. So what she's going to do, she's going to put her fingers on her forehead, on the brow bone, in line with her eyes. And you can do that now for me. Just 2 fingers on each hand, and if you want to shut your eyes, that's fine. So what I'd like you to do is think about this course. Think about the time it's taken you. Think about where you can find the time. Think about your intentions when you started it. What you've got to get out of it when you complete it. What you're really feeling anxious about whilst doing that course. So all the things you can think about in relation to the situation, it's gathering information for your brain to process and for you to put your brain back in conscious control of all that emotion surrounding it. If it's something that's quite a big stress, then obviously you won't be able to deal with it all in one go. And it might actually make you feel much more emotional and anxious while doing this technique. And if that's the case, then just put yourself in a safe place. A safe place is somewhere that you like to go. It might be the garden, it might be a beach, it might be a holiday place. Anywhere you can think of that you just actually feel safe and secure. So she's continuing to hold those points, and she'll probably find at some point that they seem to balance up. She'll feel pulses underneath her fingers. And obviously something's changed there. Yeah? Yeah? You can always go back and put your fingers back on the points and just think about how you would like to feel in relation to that stressful situation. So would you like to do that? Just put your fingers back on the points and think about completing the course, thinking about how good you'll feel when you've completed it, where you've got all that extra information and extra skills to do what the outcome of the course is. You don't actually have to think about the mechanics of doing it, you just think about what you'd like to feel like, how you would feel when it's done at the end. And again, she'll probably feel pulses, even up under her fingers. And this sign indicates there's been some completion there. So, on a scale of 0 to 10, how would you say you feel about the course now?
2.
2. That's really good, isn't it? So that's gone from a 7 to a 2. Brilliant. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just retest that muscle. So again, I'm just going to test it in the clear. Yeah, okay, and so think about the course again. So that's staying strong in relation to the course. That muscle is now switched on when she thinks about the course. So that means whenever she thinks about it, it's not depleting her energy, it's not making her more tired, it's actually giving her strength. So you can see it's such a simple and easy technique to use. And actually, you'll have seen it used before. You'll have seen people in the workplace sit like this when they're faced with something. And we do it automatically. We're holding those points automatically without even knowing we're doing it. So now you'll be able to use that skill to do that yourself and reduce your stress levels, reduce your anxiety levels, increase your energy levels.